Mike Perry versus Jake Paul just happened. This is the Fight Bananas post-fight show. We got you covered right here, and we just saw an absolute masterclass by Jake Paul. So unexpectedly in a way, but it was really just showing his growth and his development. But we got a couple of amazing people with me. We got the professor, Mr. John Radford, joining us. How you doing, my man?
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. No, I appreciate you actually shooting the text and getting this started earlier today. We got the main man, Mr. Johan Blanco, joining us as well. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I just ate a whole bunch of Oreos, so I'm feeling a little sweet right now.
Nice.
Can't go wrong with the Oreos and raising up some of that glucose in that blood sugar, right? Pre-diabetes. Let's go. And Blake, my man, appreciate you as always having you. How's the day going for you?
Day's going good, brother. I was looking forward to these fights all night. We had UFC, we had Jake Paul fights. I mean, the whole thing was fantastic. I was actually working Royals before this, so it's been a sports-filled day for me.
Absolutely. And a lot of combat sports today. There was boxing a little bit earlier. We had UFC, but tonight we will cover you with Jake Paul versus Mike Perry and some of the other fights that happened there tonight. We saw Amanda Serrano, absolute one-way traffic bulldozing in that co-main event, and then an absolute crazy comeback of a knockout in another fight as well. But let's just start off with that main event. Jake Paul, absolute masterclass over Mike Perry, knocking him down twice in the first two rounds, and then again to end the fight. John Radford, Mister, I will shoot it over to you. Thoughts on the performance and just reaction to the fight overall?
You kind of knew how Perry was going to come out. You were hoping he was going to come out with his hands a little higher, a little bit more in a boxing style, but we know he likes to get down and dirty quickly. We know that he wants to feel you in the sense of how hard you hit, take your punishment, and then give it back to you. And it was no surprise. That's exactly what happened. It was more one of those things where, in my eyes, I was hoping Perry could catch him and hurt him and then put it together. But I guess you could say he hurt him in a couple of situations, but it wasn't any of those things to where I was like, ooh, like I saw a couple left hooks that I was like, okay, that could have done some damage. There were some times where I thought, really, Jake is understanding that he's not a cardiovascular machine in boxing. He is an explosive athlete with big power, and he has a lot of muscle and body to be filled. If he really is a cruiserweight, he's a very large, thick-bodied cruiserweight. And he he's starting to realize that he's not going to be able to go unbelievable tactician rounds with a lot of volume or even throwing big shots for 10, maybe 12 rounds. Those 8 rounds are still even pushing his threshold right now. I mean, his last 2 fights, ended in the first round? Those were against some guys that I think I remember doing a little deep dive with Ray, where it was more, they hadn't fought in a little while, and they weren't fighting a lot of guys with winning records. So it was guys that you could get out of there if you had a good amount of experience. And I just feel like Jake is kind of getting to that point to where we need to see if he can really push that threshold, because now he's talking about championships, and he's building that way. And if that's what you're talking about, now I need to see you. Let's go for some boxers, and not Mike Tyson. Boxers. Not Mike Tyson, boxers.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Jake to die.
Because he actually did call out Poatan Alex Pereira in a boxing match, which I don't know if Jake Paul has a death wish, but I'm not sure how a boxing match against Alex Pereira would go, especially with just the amount of sheer power that man would have. So that's actually a call out that he himself had. He still has and still says that the Mike Tyson fight is happening in November on Netflix, but not sure, what ends up happening if Mike Tyson even ends up making that fight. But Blake, reaction to Jake Paul getting the TKO just so dominantly over Mike Perry, because essentially this fight was mostly all one-way traffic as well.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, one of the things that I love, just a quick shout out, one of the things that I love is that I've gotten my lady into watching all the fights with me. So she is like super involved with everything that's going on, whether it's UFC or boxing, which, we don't give enough love to the ladies on the show sometimes. So, like, I'd like to say that she is 100% involved, and one day maybe I'll get her on the show with us to do a post fight breakdown. But as far as the actual boxing goes, um, I had a lot of high hopes for Mike Perry. Obviously, we've seen him in the UFC. We've seen the damage that he has done in bare knuckle boxing, but I knew that this was going to be a different test for him. It's just a totally different style of fighting. It's pure boxing. It's not MMA. It's not bare knuckle. Bare knuckle is a whole nother beast. And John, I don't know if you can speak to that. I don't know if you've had any guys in your gym or if you've ever trained anybody that's done any bare knuckle boxing, or if you yourself has, but it's a totally different beast. I mean, just
100%, 100%.
yeah,
Absolutely,
the
agree. Absolutely agree.
the training for it, the style in which you fight, it's very different. So I was hoping, hey, we all love. I mean, I think we can all say we're all big Mike Perry fans. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I just like the way the guy fights. He's tough. He's remnants. He's a remnants of a gladiator. He just goes out there and fights and puts his life on the line. That's what he does, and he's great at it.
Yep.
This style of fight didn't go his way because, one, if you're going to come out against Jake Paul, and we can say all we want about Jake Paul, I personally am not a huge fan, but that does not mean I don't have respect, because the man has taken what I originally thought was a joke and showed me that he truly appreciates the art of what is boxing, what is fighting. That, to me, I never thought I'd see from him, but he has shown me time and time and time again that he's serious. And with his training, with his camp, with his nutrition, whatever he's doing, he's showing that he truly means it. And as much as it hurts me to say, the guy has got goddamn skill. Okay? He truly does. And I think you'd be a buffoon and an absolute hater to say that he doesn't, because the guy goes out there and puts on a class. Now, that being said, we can also talk about his lack or range of competition. I mean, hell, the first knockout I think was against Nate Robinson, who is a 5'9" NBA player. That's fine. That was years ago. But then since then, he's fought multiple MMA guys. He's fought Ben Askren. He's fought Tyron Woodley twice. He has fought Nate Diaz. He's fought Mike Perry. So, like, he's now gotten guys that have combat recognition. Okay. Yeah. He also fought Tyson Fury's younger brother, Tommy Fury. He lost that fight, and everybody would say, hey, that's the only actual boxer that you have fought. And I would agree. That is the only true born bred, trained, raised, corn-fed boxer that you have actually boxed. You know what I'm saying? But, like, and I get it. And you know what? He beat him in that. So I was a little bit.
Is it more potatoes? Is it more potatoes over there? Not really corn. Is it more?
Well, it's corn fed, but it's also steak and taters. It depends on who you're talking about. You know what I mean? It's that Midwest bullshit. Even though neither of them are from the Midwest, except Jake. I guess he's from Ohio, so Ohio is technically, I guess, considered the Midwest. Anyway, long story short, I think that Mike entered the fight with a bad game plan. He kept his hands down. Like John said already, he's the kind of guy that wants to take a couple shots to see what you've got to give. And I thought he was actually doing a decent job of that in the beginning, because he landed some really big shots in that second round that I think stunned and weakened Jake. I think they actually took Jake's breath away. And at the end of the second round, I thought Jake was tired as hell. I thought he was gassed. He seemed to find his breath going into the third round, but it was just, he couldn't keep his hands up. He was flat-footed. He didn't have great movement. He wasn't cutting Jake off in the ring consistently. He did do it every other round, maybe a little sparingly, but yeah, it just, I was hoping for a lot more from Mike Perry, and I'm sorry I'm very, very long-winded right now, but wasn't the experience from Mike Perry that I was hoping. And I do want to get your guys' opinion on this before you move on to the next topic. Did Mike Perry fall because he was knocked out, or did when the ref was checking him, did he fall because he tripped, and then therefore they called it because he tripped?
No.
They called it when he walked to the left or walked to the right. As soon as the referee tells you to walk forward, you have to walk the direction he tells you to walk.
Yes.
Otherwise, he has the right to wave it off.
And then he pointed.
He fell the other direction. That's when the ref waved it off.
But he asked him to walk that direction.
Yeah,
no, like he fell that
stumbled.
direction.
Yeah, like he wants
okay,
to see that he has stable legs. That's what the ref is looking for, is stable legs.
Yeah, he's looking to see if your feet are under you.
Legs.
Anytime he sees the wobbliness, he has the right to say, like, no, like, like he has a legitimate right. When Perry fell like that, he has the right to wave that off.
Okay,
Definitely.
but my only question was he did ask him to walk that way. So was it a trip or was it a true stumble?
I would have called it a stumble.
No, I wouldn't call it a stumble.
And I'm not arguing. I'm truly asking because I don't know more than this man right now.
Well, I'm just saying because it's his third knockdown. So like I wouldn't call it a stumble after that, after taking all that punishment.
Yeah, I'm just saying the damage added up.
Well, no, like what I mean by stumble, I mean like legitimately he's discombobulated. His body made him fly. You're saying a stumble as in his body took him that way, other than a trip where the referee could have tripped him and he fell that way, right? Is that what you're saying?
No. I don't mean the referee tripped. I hope not, because that'd be really fucking. That'd be
purpose. Not on purpose. But you mean like, what do you mean by trip then?
I just mean I guess I'm asking, when he went to step to the right, did he stumble over the mat, or was that a true articulative stumble? And I'm not trying to this isn't a trick question. This was a pure. I'm curious.
I would assume that was from being hit.
Like that was from the
and I would assume
it wasn't gravity, it wasn't the mat, it was damage. Right?
That's what I would agree with.
And we got Chris James MMA joining us as well, the main man. How you doing? You have some beautiful comments as well joining us. We have some idiots in the comments saying that it was rigged. If you know Mike Perry and you saw the damage that he would take, he was not rigged. He would have stole the fight after the second round. He wouldn't have continued taking the damage if the fight was rigged. Chris James, thoughts on the fight, my man?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on board tonight. First, I got to say, as a friend of Mike Perry, my heart hurts for him. I'm just his friend. I've known him a long time, watched him come up on the regional scene as an amateur and then as a pro. Had the honor of announcing a couple of his fights. I was pulling for him. I called the 6-round TKO. I just picked the wrong fucking guy. So that shit happened. I am happy that I know he secured a bag tonight. But he, I think this will be the first time, even after Ponzinibbio fucked his face up and moved his nose over like 4 feet.
Luque.
Yeah, or Luque. I'm sorry, Vincente Luque. I still pimped up Mike there. I was like, no, Mike had some good moments. I couldn't bring myself to be honest about it, but I'm going to be honest tonight. He was outclassed. He had no defense. It didn't look good. He had a couple moments where he landed a couple punches. He landed one to Jake's temple, but Jake Temple just kind of Jake just ate it and kept coming. As far as what Blake was asking about the stoppage of the fight, Chris Young is a phenomenal referee. He gave Mike the chance. He said, stand up. He said, step to your right. Mike stepped to his right and then stumbled. That was a complete stumble. Mike was done. That's the way it's supposed to end. If the ref calls you to the right, and I learned this when I started ring announcing. If the ref calls you to the right or to the left, you have to go there, and you have to go there stable. If you can't be stable, he's going to stop the fight every single fucking time. So Mike took an L tonight. Before I came on, I was reading some comments on social media. Mike is taking a beating right now on social media. And so is BKFC, because they're saying that Mike is the face of BKFC. And what does this do to the promotion now? Because here's the guy you're promoting as the face of the company, and he has been the face of the company. I mean, I think we can all agree to that. What do you do when your face takes a beating by a YouTuber?
If you understand combat sports personally, then it doesn't mean shit because
Yeah.
it's two different monsters. It's just two completely different monsters.
Yeah, but John, we're in a world where it
Oh,
doesn't matter if it's two
I
different monsters. I mean, you and I understand that. So does Jonathan, Johan, and fucking Blake. But
agree.
in
I
the
agree.
eyes of the world, it's Mike lost to a YouTuber tonight, and as the face of the organization, um, I don't know how they spin it. I mean, I don't know who they could put him in with now. Maybe, and I don't know how you guys follow BKFC. I do a lot. Maybe they finally give Mike a championship fight against Dave Mundell, a guy who Mike has beaten twice coming up in the regionals. Maybe to turn him around and actually put a legit belt on him besides the King of Violence belt. But Mike's been on a different trajectory, fighting all the big name stars from the UFC. So, they had no interest in doing business with Dave Mundell, not because he's not a good fighter, but because he doesn't bring the proper B side to Mike's A side, business wise. And, and that's just the truth. Dave Mundell's a cool dude, a great fighter, a great champion, but, the way they've been booking Mike, it's against other A side. It's A side. Luke Rockhold, Eddie Alvarez. I mean, these are the types of names. So what does BKFC do? What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, like you said, it's a very tough position to put him in because, like you said, in anyone that has a good combat sports mind will understand what this fight really was and aren't going to knock Mike Perry for what it is. Also, we do have to give like a big, I think the size advantage tonight played a big factor.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Of
Jake
course.
probably walked
bigger. So
didn't Jake have to get
He had
on
to
the
cut
scale
to
like 3
200.
times yesterday?
Naked.
So naked. So
Yeah.
he probably weighed 230 tonight. Mike barely weighed 196, and Mike didn't put on weight after hitting at 196 because that's the biggest he's ever been for a fight.
Oh, Jake Paul's a weight class bully. We all know that. Come on now. He's a weight class bully.
So before I answer that, I know that
he's Devin Haney all over again.
I know that Johan didn't get to talk too much. So before I talk about the BKFC implications, Johan, what do you think the as far as like the weight implications, like how much do you think that really affected Mike Perry and maybe how much damage he could have done with any damage or what what he could have hit tonight?
I definitely think it was a factor. I mean, him fighting at 196. I mean, that's a lot of weight. That's almost like pretty much like 20 pounds that he usually doesn't carry, going into a fight. So obviously that does play a factor. I also think that him going into pure boxing is another factor. But you have to think about it like this. I think Jake Paul is calculated in the opponents he picks for the skills that he develops. He's very calculated. No matter if you look at every single fight, he picks an opponent that's slightly improved for his skill set. Whether it's a bare knuckle boxing champion, if it's an MMA, a retired MMA guy, he picks someone that's just slightly better than who he last fought. And I understand that. And it's always going to be someone who's either undersized, too old, or, does not really have a good, stand-up background. But to John's point earlier, he has to work on his conditioning, and he's a very athletic and explosive fighter. But the problem is, if you're talking about being a world champion at cruiserweight, you're talking about guys who are also athletic and explosive. I mean, you try to do that to Jai Opataya, who is athletic and explosive just like you, but who is much quicker, who has better footwork, and who can go 12 rounds. It's not going to work like that. I think for him, I think he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's playing the business of boxing pretty well. I mean, he's fighting guys who have to fight at their natural weight while he cuts down to 200 pounds. He's fighting guys that, don't have particularly a strong boxing background, maybe bare knuckle boxing, but we all know bare knuckle boxing is not the same as the sweet science. Just look how Mike Perry fought. He fought how he fights in BKFC, pushing the pressure and kind of trying to take punishment. But when you have a jab coming at you all the time, or you have someone who's kind of active, kind of just moving, utilizing the entire ring, whereas bare knuckle boxing is a small circular ring,
also a bigger athlete in front of you.
Exactly. It's a different game, and Jake Paul understands that, and he's using those things to his advantage. Yes, the skill set that these guys are fighting with are improved, each opponent, but he's constantly getting better, and he's trying to pick apart those guys until he hopes to fight a real boxer. But I don't know. Overall, with this performance, I can't really rate it. I think he fought solid, but it wasn't against a credible boxer. And all respect to Mike Perry, because I think he's done wonders not only for BKFC but for his career outside of the UFC. But if Jake Paul is talking about becoming a world champion in a couple years' time, I don't see where I could assess his performance.
Yeah, let me just jump in on the end of that real quick. I'm sorry. And just on the championship aspect, that Jake Paul, he consistently says, I'm going to be the cruiserweight champion of the world. Well, the path you're taking right now has absolutely zero direction to that title. You've done nothing to go to that title. The one guy that you might have want to put on the list to say that, okay, this was legit, was Tommy Fury, and you lost. Fighting a 60-year-old Mike Tyson doesn't do anything except put more money in your pocket. It does not put you on the path to a title. And, I'd like to see him fight some of these regular boxers, real boxers in his weight division, and see if he's really what he says he is and what he's shown us so far against inferior competition.
Well, and Chris, if I can ask you real quick, and John, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
Chris,
you're good, brother. Go ahead.
If I can ask you real quick.
Sure.
In a fighter like Mike Tyson, and I know that sounds outlandish because, he's 58 years old. The guy has been sidelined forever. But he's also, in my opinion, and I'm probably maybe majority, maybe minority, I don't know. In my opinion, he's one of the most exciting, if not the greatest boxer of all fucking time. The fight tonight, if had it been against Tyson, would never have gone like that. So in your opinion, and I want John's opinion on this as well,
okay,
what would that fight have looked like? And maybe this is a preview for what the fight could look like against a guy like Tyson. Does Tyson stand a chance? Because he's got such a background, because he's got more knowledge than any of us could ever digest, even if we were uploaded into the gaming program of the Matrix. Like, none of that could ever be downloaded unless you actually did it.
Right.
What would that have looked like for you guys?
All right. So for me, listen, Tyson.
Somebody who's an actual boxer who has the remembrance and the strategy and the actual game plan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
As far as Tyson goes, what would that fight have looked like? It's hard to say because everybody's thinking about Tyson, and we're all remembering Tyson from yesteryear.
Of course.
And he's not the same guy. I mean, he fought Roy Jones a few years ago in an exhibition. He won the fight, but Roy Jones just lost to Anthony Pettis. Who would have ever thought that Anthony Pettis would be, in my opinion, the greatest pound-for-pound boxer of all time. So, you can't fight farther time. So Jake has a legitimate chance of beating up Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson also has a legitimate chance to knock out Jake Paul because he still carries that heavy hand, and if he can get inside and do his thing, hands up, move in and do all that, he's got a shot. That was my Mike Tyson impersonation. Thank you very much. I won an Oscar for that once. But John, John, am I wrong?
I mean, you're not wrong, but the boxing match looks like shit. It looks like shit because it's a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. The rules are changed. They're wearing 16-ounce gloves and they're putting 2 minutes on the clock.
I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me.
Fuck all that bullshit to hell, right? Stop picking on Mike Tyson. Let that man go retire and be what it is.
Amen.
But
unless you're on an airplane and you're talking shit.
Well, then that's you deserve to get hit. Fuck that shit. Stop running your mouth.
What's the old saying? Talk shit, get hit.
Yeah, that. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry for cussing. It's 1:30 in the morning, whatever it is. But shut the fuck up. You're talking shit to Mike Tyson on a plane. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. You don't.
One more time.
It's that simple. It's like I don't even like. There's some people you don't talk. Like there's a song, what Bad Leroy Brown. You just don't talk to shit to Bad Leroy Brown back in the day,
Yep.
like the songs, all that shit. Like, come on, man. No, but my whole thing is like I get what the question you're asking, and one, I want to thank you for you understanding that Mike Tyson knows more about boxing than
In his pinky.
and his pinky than we know about any of the shit that we've done in our life, because that man really he knows everything about boxing from history to different, like it's amazing what he knows. He has a boxing file in his head that has downloaded more shit than we've ever seen on the internet.
He's a historian.
Out of all the stuff that we've put together. Let's just put it that way, right? So thank you for acknowledging that, brother. But other than that, he's 58. Jake Paul has a legitimate chance of ending a legend's life inside of a ring. And I do not appreciate that, nor like it, nor want to see it in any kind of way. Even though Mike Tyson has a puncher's chance and can put still power behind a punch, I don't need to watch any of that happening. Like
I won't watch it. And it's going to be free on Netflix, and I still won't watch that shit.
Yeah, and if you want to be a legitimate world champion, then that's not the route you go, right? That's not the route you go. And let's be real. I'm going to just say this real. If for some reason, let's say Jake Paul gets to be a 185-pound champion, right? In some type of weird way, fights some weird dude because some guy vacated a title, because we've seen the Alphabet Crew do way more things in this boxing game than anything before. He's such a name that somehow he ends up with the WBA or the WBO or some weird ass stupid cruiserweight nonsense up there. What is stopping Better Beeve or Bivol going up 10 pounds and fucking him up for life?
Yep.
Like what would stop that? That would be the biggest payday, the biggest fight any of them can happen. And I'm jumping all the way to that because you want to be a cruiserweight champion and
Stop
you're
it,
saying all
Dave.
this stuff.
Stop it, Dave.
I mean, I don't even want to go there. He's talking about boxing. Like Alex Pereira, we can do that. That's just crazy, though, right? That's just like
nah, it doesn't make any
Big shout
sense.
out, by the way, to Dave Van Auken for joining the stream. Thank you so much, Dave. You're the man.
Thank you, Dave.
Live from Dallas, Texas.
But Jake Paul in 4. Jesus Lord.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not doing this, Dave.
All right, Dave. Now you can exit.
Are you going to do it?
Now.
I'm not doing this, Dave. I'm not doing it with you right now, Dave. We're not doing this right now. All right.
Should I put up that next comment?
Better Beeve or Bivol would come up to 185 and smack him, and that would be the fight you'd have to make. And I just don't understand any of this. It all blows my mind.
Yep.
Especially if you're talking about championship boxing. Like we already saw the problem was, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hog the mic from anybody, but like I'm so passionate about this, just like John does, just like Chris does. When you give him a real boxer, because like I think Johan said it, he has cherry picked his opponents, and I'll even say this: the Nate Diaz fight, in my opinion, showed just how, I guess, if you want to say quote unquote little boxing you have, even though Nate Diaz is considered one of the greatest boxers ever in MMA, that you have to put up a fight against Jake Paul. And Tommy Fury came in and won that fight. So give him somebody who's respectable. Give him somebody who's an actual name in boxing, and it's over. It's over.
Well, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's necessarily over. I'm going to say this, and some people agree with me, some people don't, but Jake can box. There's no denying that the kid can box, and he's gotten better since his first fight to he is now. So he still has a puncher's chance, even against some of these name guys. He's got a puncher's chance. I don't know if he'll outbox them, but he's got a puncher's chance. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the story's over. But I would say 95% says the story's over, so Jake has carved out a niche for himself, and he is absolutely killing it in his niche, and he's making big money. He's bringing big money to some people. The one argument that people keep saying is that he's saving boxing. No, he's not saving boxing. People that come to watch his fights and tune in to buy his fights are Jake Paul fans. They are not typical
or
boxing
haters,
fans.
or haters, or haters,
or
or
haters.
haters.
Like
I drink the Haterade over here hardcore on it.
I only bought it tonight because Mike Perry was on the card. That's it. If Mike Perry wasn't fighting him, I've never watched a Jake Paul fight live in my life. So I don't know, but I think we've beat up the Jake Paul and Mike Perry fight, and I'm ready to move on if you guys are. Not trying to steal the show or nothing, but there's like a couple other fights, a couple of things that pissed me off that I want to talk about.
No, for sure. But I do want to give a shout out to JT, who's Perry's coach.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. JT's awesome. JT is absolutely technique boxing. Awesome.
Yep. Trains out of he actually trains out of Mineola here. He was the first boxing gloves that I got from his gym and from him. So, he was,
do you sleep with them?
Yes, I keep them right in my bed.
That's fucking cute.
I saw him.
John, can you put the last comment up real quick?
I saw JT over the weekend at the USA boxing event in Orlando. It was he's a great guy, awesome guy, great coach.
I gotta point that out.
Go ahead.
He's a mediocre amateur. Let me read this to you guys. He's a mediocre amateur at best. He has so many mistakes that would end him in a second if he fought an actual ranked boxer. He fucking sucks.
Yes, but here's the thing, because like we're talking about it. He's talking about world title status, right? He's talking about the top of it. There's 4 sanctioning bodies. There's 15 rankings in each sanctioning body. I think all 60 boxers in each of those rankings would be Jake Paul at this point. Now, I'm not discrediting Jake Paul. Chris put it on the dot. He has been improving since 2018, since he's gotten into the sport. But the thing is, he's not there. It's just 8 years. What is it? 8 years or 6 years?
Can I interrupt you guys? I'm so sorry. I just got a message from somebody of a tweet from Conor McGregor. It says, "Hey, Mike, you're released and you can go compete in your smelly, dirty boxing championship thing. The smell of it. Good luck. You're fired." At Bare Knuckle FC.
Shut the fuck up, Connor. I'm sorry, but shut the fuck up.
Bro, how's that pinky?
That's why we love you, Blake. That's why we love you, Blake.
That's why
watching
I love Conor,
Johan talk right now is better than watching Conor McGregor tweets.
No. Some of Conor McGregor drunk tweets can get pretty funny.
Oh, no. They're great. Don't get me wrong. They are great. But like, I'm sorry. I don't want to sit here and listen to a guy who hasn't fought in 2-3 years, who has backed out of a fight because of his pinky toe. I get balancing your pinky toe, what the fuck ever. But I'm sorry, I can't take any of that legit, But hilarious. If we're talking about the hilarity factor, yeah, yes. I'm gonna sit here and laugh my ass off, Chris.
I wanted to bring a little humor in because that's a Conor McGregor treat. Somebody just sent me. My friend Josh my friend Howie sent it to me.
Yeah, Howie Atherton from the comments actually said, "Chris,
hey Howie!"
Shout out to the boy Howie for keeping the show up to date. But Chris, you did want to move on to Amanda Serrano and talk about her a little bit. And Johan, I'll actually let you start off with this one because it was absolutely one-way traffic for this fight. Like, I wasn't sure what to expect out of her opponent, and actually neither did Serrano, because she said that she really didn't see any tape on her. But absolute one-way traffic, and she's looking to get a rematch. It's Katie Taylor. I think she's looking to get a rematch
100%.
Yes,
in November. It's already agreed to.
It's already official.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Okay, can I ask one question about that women's fight though? Like, I love Amanda Serrano, and she's like could be the GOAT of women right now, and we're not even gonna get into
Shields.
That. We could go back and look at all the stats.
Chris is cooking.
I think Clarissa Shields has a pathway to it right away. Don't get me wrong, but going back down with it with Ray the other night, Amanda Serrano puts up a hell of a resume to be the GOAT right now. But that girl, how does she have 13 knockouts, and who the fuck was she fighting? Because she didn't look like she had any power whatsoever. What the fuck was that about? And I'm sorry for cussing so much, but Jesus freaking Lord, those look like pillow hands, and she had 13 knockouts.
I think I'd rather you cuss and say Jesus friggin' Lord.
But
tomatoes.
I got a 110-pound boxer at my gym named a little G, and she can crack. And I swear to God, she can hit harder than that girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we got a punch even though, right? Because like it was really just one-way traffic.
I think she landed 10 punches.
But Amanda Serrano went in and did the damn thing, though. That's what I like to see, though. She went in there and did it.
I'm not giving Amanda Serrano a lot of credit for this fight. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Johan, but she beat the girl she was supposed to beat the shit out of. This girl was brought in to fucking
Well, she
lose.
did what she was supposed to.
This is one of my fucking biggest pet peeves about boxing. The glaring clarity of the A side to the Z side. We all knew it was going to be a fucking demolishing fight. And I'm going to be honest too. I think the ref could have let it go a little longer. I think she jumped the trigger too early. I wanted to see a little more action, see if the girl's biggest moment of her life and the referee took it from her.
That girl was not going to hit back.
She shit her pants. I'm not gonna lie. She shit her pants.
She was not throwing at all. There was no energy behind those punches. They were all arm punches coming from the shoulders. Nothing from the hips. Nothing turning on anything.
Nothing.
She never showed that she could crack for 14 wins, 13 of them by knockout, or 12 by knockout.
13 by knockout.
She didn't show any power in those punches to where she like Johan said, she shit the bed right there. And I'm not knocking her. You got in there, you fought one of the goats.
No, but I am knocking her because she was talking a lot of shit in the build-up. I'm not gonna lie. She was talking a lot of shit, so I'm gonna knock her for that. Even pre-fight, right before she walked in the ring, she was like, she was saying she's gonna see what I'm made of. I mean, she saw for 2 rounds what you were made of. It was not much.
She still got in there and fought, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, you're right. But all I'm saying
she secured a bag. She was there for the bag. She wasn't
those
there
opponents were from Craigslist. Those were Craigslist.
Hey, Johan, I agree. I agree with both John and Chris in the fact that I agree with John, especially that I would have loved to see them go a little longer, but that's only because the fan in me loves to see somebody get their ass put on the fucking canvas. That's just me. I would have loved to see her get knocked the fuck out, but she was getting tagged, man.
All right. Okay, well, so I get what homeboy's saying right down there in the fight was, but it wasn't fixed.
It wasn't fixed.
She fought cans. And I'm sure her record was exactly what it was, but it was cans. And you'd be amazed how you would think that was a conspiracy type thing, but how much that really happens in boxing, and how much that legitimate cans, like they get hit once and they go down and it's over. Like you would be amazed. I promise you, Seth, you'd be amazed, Mr. Horner.
Yeah,
like your last name, buddy.
So John, how do you think her versus Katie Taylor goes? Because I mean, we have some people. I know I actually saw on Twitter, Alicia Bumgarner called her out. How he put that in the comments as well. But as far as Katie Taylor, how do you think that fight goes back against the rematch from Madison Square Garden? I think it was, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be just as competitive as last time. It's gonna not. It's a freaking coin flip. Let's be real. I think she's if Amanda Serrano comes in at the peak of her camp, at the moment that every fighter's trying to get to at the top of the camp, and she comes in at the right moment, because she is a little bit older and she has miles on her machine. I think that it's gonna come down to as long as the camp goes really well. I think because she's gonna be more used to that weight now. So I feel like she's going to have a better fight, and I feel like she can definitely take it from Katie. But at the same time, Katie might have that hunger from everybody thinking it should have been the other way, all this kind of stuff, and she could bite down on that mouthpiece and go even harder. Either way, we in for a banger, boys. We in for a banger, bro.
I'm taking Katie.
Well, and if you judge fights based off of the fighters' last names on the grade of peppers, Serrano, she's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like she's a little spicy. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. That Irish pepper over there. The Irish pepper over there may not be hot, but it keeps hitting, bro. It just keeps hitting.
What's in that can that you're drinking out of, Blake?
Oh, you guys don't know what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a little bit of the Voodoo Ranger, not sponsored, but we're gonna bring them in. Voodoo Ranger Peach. It's the Force. All right, Peach Force.
Right, that explains a lot.
Oh, there you go. It's a peach. It's a peach IPA. I don't know what we're doing over here.
It is.
you
It's
know-
about a 9 point. It's about a 9.5. Is you drink like 2 or 3 of these, you're feeling pretty good.
How many
I
are you
got
on?
I got the old granddad bottle and bond. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Where'd you get that from?
The liquor store down the street next to Winn-Dixie.
I've got Mountain
Oh,
Dew.
hey, Chris got the Mountain Dew, so he's all jacked up.
Oh, you know.
Got some
John
water.
Jonathan, what
has
you drinking?
Got some
John,
water.
what are we drinking?
You health nut. It's a
I'm
Saturday
drinking the
night.
Ryan Garcia
No, it's
special.
all right. We're chilling on this.
Hey, he's juiced up over there. He's got that OJ. He's got that
Johan,
OJ.
what you drinking on over there?
Some Osterine.
Some what?
The Ryan Garcia special.
Oh God.
By the way, I
And
just want
so-
to say it's funny to see Johan, the professor, and Jonathan all holding a mic in their hand. They all got a different kind of mic. Jonathan looks like he's talking to the magic fucking 8-ball.
It's called a snowball.
I like it though. I feel like
Hey, if he shakes it, it'll tell him his future. Don't worry.
It gives me a yes, no, or maybe. Like, should I do this show
Yeah.
tonight? Probably
So-
not. I'm like,
it
Probably
could be a good
chance.
idea.
All right, so I'm going to segue us out of this fucking little segment right here, and I'm going to take us to the fucking best moment of the night: Lucas Body and H2O Sylvie.
Oh my gosh.
Holy
so
fuck!
here's
And
a
I
quick
and I
one.
picked. I'm just going to tell you guys, I didn't pick around. I didn't pick how it was going to end. But if you go look at my Facebook page, I picked Body to win. I felt his experience and his age was going to weigh in on this fight, and I don't know if that's what weighed in, but motherfucker, that was a fucking clean fucking face plant I've ever fucking seen in a long fucking time.
the double right hand and then the left hook after he was already stunned just to kind of get him completely shut off.
Yeah, the short right to the long right left hand. That was nice.
That was crazy.
So
I'm
at
not
the
gonna
end of
lie,
our-
I had a fight boner when that happened. That was fucking.
Ooh, I bet it was huge.
It was something, I'll tell you.
And
Like
he
that
was
might-
losing every minute of that fight before.
Lost
Yeah,
that.
it
every
was.
up until he won. He
Yeah.
lost.
There wasn't a moment in that fight he even shined. Like there wasn't a moment where he was doing good. You know, you didn't see sparks of anything. You didn't see remnants of this knockout coming before. It was all one-way traffic. Imagine, essentially like, not as bad, but like, Serrano one-way traffic for 6 rounds, and then he just comes back. Perfect timing. He gets it done. I mean, he says he believes in his coach because his coach said all it takes is one. And, like you said, that experience came into factor. And, man, it was just, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he's a 2-time national Canadian amateur champion. He fought pretty much a pretty solid of winning records before he got to this fight. He had a bunch of knockouts before then. His friend actually was on on the Boxing Banana show with us. He ended the show with us the other night, and he called it. He literally said, he goes, "Watch." He goes, "Lucas Bahadi's my boy." He goes, he's gonna shock the world. He's gonna do it. I was like, okay. He didn't call KO, but he called it. He said he was going to do it. And then we went back and we did a little quick dive afterwards. And I looked at it a little bit deeper and I was like, oh, dude. So I had a couple parlays with him in it. My other parlays didn't work out. Uriah Hall fucked me over. The other ones. But
Come on, you didn't expect Hall to win that fight, did you?
Oh, I did. Yeah. Just I
gosh.
needed the parlay to be bigger. I only wanted to bet a little bit of money to win a lot.
John is not the only one who lost parlay tonight. I was 4 for 5 on a UFC parlay, and Amanda Lemos screwed me. So
Damn those
unfortunate. Fucking armbar, bro.
God damn it.
Armbar. At one point in that fight, those two girls had fucking dueling fucking leg locks. It was fucking pretty
Dueling
cool.
leg locks, and they did. And I was like,
I had that on a parlay, and it was supposed to be a double submission, and that shit was like a plus 6,000. I was like, oh my god, I was great on it. I had no idea.
It was plus 21,000 for a double submission.
But where does
Level
Lucas
down.
Body go from here, guys? Because I mean, he's undefeated. He's 17-0, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's still young, 30 years old, and like you said, I mean, he's a multiple time national champion. He just had probably the biggest moment of his career, and he's gonna have momentum going into the next fight. Obviously, I don't have the name knowledge as much as you guys do. So, who do you guys want to see fight
Kid
next?
Austin. Kid Austin.
He
called
said
him
it. He
out.
called it. He called him out. He did. You're also the
Yep.
other one. The other one, Johan, is Floyd Schofield.
Mhm.
For the fact that they were talking about it for H2O to be the next fight. Go ahead and take that. Take that. When you beat somebody, you
take
knocked
that
him out
fight.
clean. You face planted him. Go take that step from him. You know what I mean? Like everybody always talks about MMA. I know Christopher J, you've heard this before. John, you probably heard this. In MMA, they say when you beat somebody, you take everything before what they've done in the most recent thing that's
Exactly.
positive, right? You take all
Take
that.
his thunder, baby. Take his thunder.
You just took H2O's thunder. Go get Floyd Schofield if you need to. If that's a better fight than Kid Austin, go get that one instead, because you don't know in this game when you're going to get that opportunity. This could be $1 million payday. This could be $500,000 payday, but whatever it is, it's going to be the biggest payday of his next step easily.
Hey John, I'm sorry to tell you the burn of bad news. Kid Austin is Floyd Schofield.
I'm an idiot, bro. I'm sorry.
Johan, I was
you're
sitting
good,
there.
you're good.
Listen, I don't follow boxing as much as you two guys do, but even I know that. And I was just sitting there nodding my head with John. I was going to say to myself,
cut me off next time. Damn it. I'm
no,
sorry. I've
because
had a few
it was
bourbons.
so
Leave
much
me
fun
alone.
listening to you, bro.
Well, you know. Shit.
It's
John, if
crazy.
it
Okay,
makes
Johan.
you, John,
It's
if it makes you
crazy.
feel any better, I have said the dumbest shit on this podcast before. You're not in bad
right.
company.
Oh.
Trust me.
We could make a blooper reel of all this stupid shit I've said. I'm good with it. That's cool.
Oh, dude, I think the last show we did, me and John were talking about a fight, and I was like, "Yeah, Michael Venom Page should fight X." Blah 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 blah. And John was like, he waited for me to be done with my entire monologue, and he goes, "Yeah, they already fought." And I was like, "What the fuck? Oh shit!" Like it was. So trust me, you're in good company, brother. You're in good company.
And honestly, this card it led up really well. Like I think they built it up really well. That going into the main event, you just had a lot of excitement. The earlier fights, I didn't get too much of them. I started checking them out. And the fight previous that we were talking about earlier, what was his name? Well, Julio Cesar Chavez and Uriah Hall. That fight was a little bit slower, in my opinion. What was your guys' opinion on that?
That
Listen.
fight right there. Uriah Hall is an out of shape middleweight from the UFC. Julio Cesar Chavez, I don't know what the weight class is in boxing, but he was out of shape from where he normally is. It was a 6-round fight. I personally, and I was talking with John about this, we were messaging back and forth. I didn't give Uriah Hall any rounds. I felt that just Chavez won the whole thing straight up. John felt he won 2 rounds. So I don't disagree with John, because John's a boxing expert beyond my comprehension as far as what I know about boxing. But I just, I just look at that fight and I just feel like it was
It was
I
what
feel
an
like-
appetizer was supposed to be. It was just an
Yeah.
appetizer.
Yeah,
There was nothing more.
It was nothing to it. But Chavez won that whole fight, in my opinion. It was boring, lackluster. Not the fight I would want to have open my pay-per-view.
It was the chips and salsa you get at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
You don't pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you did kind of pay for this one, but you don't pay for the chips and salsa. But the next
Allegedly.
fight, at least, the next one was the most competitive one of the night.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. It was great.
Aguilar.
Marksman and Aguiar, John
Yeah.
Rat, the professor
Old
told
Count
me.
stand up.
Professor
Count
told me
stand
that
up.
this was going to be a very competitive fight, and I didn't know too much about both guys. I knew a little bit about Corey Marksman. So I was excited because John got me excited about it, and then I watched the fight, and fucking, when you have a fight that ends up as a majority decision, it was a good fight.
Yeah.
It was razor thin. Like it started off. Marksman, I felt like, my bad, sorry, John, but Marksman,
go ahead.
I felt like he started off really like his footwork early. He cut some angles that were insane. Like he cut some absolutely beautiful angles. But I felt like in those like middle rounds, Aguilar, that dog just came out. You know, he just really
You're
started to
exactly
use
right.
that
You're
inner
exactly right.
dog. And, you know, as someone who doesn't really have the knowledge as much as you guys do, it was just really a fight that, you know, it started off as kind of you saw it going maybe one way, but the other guy, maybe because of all the history that they had, you know, between with all the, you know, shared ring time that they had, was able to withstand that initial, you know, burst and then just came back. And just like you said, Chris, majority decision, super close fight, super competitive. And it was the most competitive fight all night long.
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing, not about the fights. For you guys that are watching, you're watching the post show from the Jake Paul Mike Perry fight card. Fear No Man, it was called, on Fight Bananas. We got Jonathan, we got Johan, we got Blake, we got the professor, and you got me, Chris James. We've seen a lot of comments coming up from Facebook, but where the fuck are our YouTube people fucking commenting on the show? That's what I want to know. So if you're watching on YouTube, drop some comments in here, man. We want to know that we're reaching out and hitting you guys, and you guys are getting the content with us. Get in there.
Well, and like Chris said, we've got a lot of commenters. In the beginning, we had a lot of guys talking that shit. And they were calling us jabronis. They were calling us a bunch of whatever. And I'm like, hey, listen, we've got Chris. We got Chris right here. We got John this way. We got other John. And we got Johan. And we got me. You guys, I'm sorry. Whatever you want to think is fine. But I promise you, we know just a tad bit more. And the fact that we got John Radford on this fucking cast right now, I promise you it's better than any cast you'll listen to.
See, like, and this is one of the shitty comments that came up. I was scrolling back. It was rigged. Either you guys are stupid trying to sound smart, Jake Paul fanboys, or paid by Jake somehow. He may have skill, but he's a joke. Brett Gillis, if you're still watching, you are fucking completely off base on all 5 of the people on this screen. None of us are Jake Paul fanboys. If we were getting paid by Jake, fucking would be fanboys, but we'd be fucking making some cheddar. But Jake ain't paying us, so to him, you know what I'm saying?
I'd be living in more than a trailer right now. I promise you.
I'd be living in more than a Nissan Rogue.
Right. Right.
Oh, you got the beautiful voice and the beautiful setup, my man. You got it going.
Well, thank you
Look
very
at the painting in the background too. The absolute ambiance of the setup by Chris James.
Yeah, well, I used to have a different room, and I had a green screen. I could put cool pictures behind me, but I couldn't put the green screen out in the fucking living room area. It was a fucking nightmare. I had to move my mom into my studio and all that shit. So my green screen sits in her studio above her bed.
If Chris James could just record a voice recording for me to go to sleep tonight, that'd be fantastic. I would fall asleep to that goddamn voice.
Well, I don't know if that's what I want to hear.
Well, I didn't say I'm a
ring announcer. I'm a ring announcer. I'm supposed to wake you up, man. If I'm putting you to sleep, man, fucking, I'm not doing my job.
Hey, you just got the good voice, brother.
So I have a question for everybody. Here we go.
9 inches, but only if I'm happy. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong question.
Hold on, before John intervenes, because I know John's about to say some shit. I got one for you, Chris.
Okay.
The other day, my lady was like, "Hey, I like a solid 12 inches," and I said, "I will fold my dick in half for no woman."
Oh my god! I think mine was funnier. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Oh, definitely way funnier. But oh my god.
Oh, hey,
timing is key.
Here's one of our fucking haters.
Yeah, this guy.
John Jay, you guys blow.
That's a stupid name.
Yeah. Your mom gave me your number, John Jay. Tell her to call me later, please.
Your glasses from the gas station. Come on now, buddy.
John, you want to say your question?
Oh my god.
End your question now.
All right. So, as we were saying,
I forgot he had a question.
I think I did too. Fuck. I was too busy blowing. I don't know what the fuck to tell y'all. I don't know what to say. Shit. Fuck. Whatever. So let's make this hypothetical in more ways than one.
Okay.
And, so Jake Paul wins. Let's throw Mike Tyson out the window. Okay. Johan, we know the boxing realm in the 185 category more than them. So when I tailor it to them, it's going to be more to the fictional. No, I don't want to say fictional, but more to the who would you guys like to see Jake Paul fight in any category? Because obviously he cross promotes a shit ton of a lot of things, right? But Johan, when I direct it to you, I would like to know what actual boxer in the 185 area you would like to actually see. But who would you like to see Jake Paul fight that's not Mike Tyson that you think would give him better credibility towards his self-proclaimed journey to the
cruiserweight championship in 2 years?
Yeah, to his cruiserweight championship in 2 years, and apparently a Canelo fight because that's fucking retarded too.
Well, if we're talking fighters that are not legitimate boxers, I mean, we can give him anybody. I mean, I don't think it fucking matters because if we
someone though that you think would give him a like Johan made a great point. Everybody he fights, no matter who he fights, is a little bit better than the last person he fought to give him a little bit better challenge towards his skill set. I truly believe that's actually a very valid I think diagnosis of Jake Paul. And so something like that, who is the next person that you think would give him a solid challenge in your realm? If you know a boxer, absolutely fantastic. If not, an MMA guy, anything that you think would raise his credibility rather than lower it, because Mike Tyson to me isn't raising shit. It's
Joe
just
Biden.
It's just
that would do us all a favor.
That's the easiest assassination ever. That's not even fair.
I don't know, man. It's like, and like I said, I apologize. I'm not as deeply vested in the boxing world as you guys
it doesn't
are.
Have to be boxing.
I understand that. But I would like to be able to answer with a boxer. I just don't know enough names off the top of my head. I can go look up names and try to pretend that I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I don't want to do that. There's nobody recently that has left the UFC as either a light heavyweight or a middleweight, because those are the two classes you would have to pull from. I mean,
what about Rockhold? That's a different skill set. Yeah, different skill set.
That's not a bad idea. But the problem is Mike Perry beat him up and broke his face in fucking bare knuckle. So that fight really doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything.
Southpaw,
but it doesn't do anything for
gloves.
Jake. It doesn't do anything for Jake because Mike Perry beat him and he just beat Mike Perry. I mean, MMA math or boxing math. I mean, you have to look at that, and your record against, same opponents. I don't know, but it's not a bad name. If Chael Sonnen took anything seriously, I would like to see Chael Sonnen do it just because the lead up to the fight would be so fucking epically fun. But
Chael Sonnen for the lead up to the fight would be epic. You're absolutely right. I would agree.
But I mean,
I'd watch that.
Chael Sonnen is the greatest shit talker of all time.
All time.
He would make Jake quiver and piss down his leg.
I'd like to see him do it against. He's still in the UFC. Chris Weidman. Another former champion, a former UFC fucking middleweight champion. He knocked out Anderson Silva clean. And Anderson Silva lost to Jake. So fucking there we go.
I mean, you can throw the Masvidal name there. You
can't.
I would say Masvidal.
Bisping.
No.
No, he's too comfy in his job now.
Bisping wouldn't get sanctioned because he only has one eye.
I just watched Triple X #3, the return of Xander Cage with Bisping in it today. I'm telling you, Bisping not the choice. Great actor, I guess, but not.
He couldn't do it because he wouldn't get sanctioned. He has a glass fucking eye, so he's not going to get sanctioned anywhere.
There's one correct answer for this.
Uh-oh.
It is the shooting guard for the Miami Heat, Tyler Hero. Look at him. The man is putting in work.
Bro, stop playing with me, and it's Kendrick Lamar.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
There was always only one answer, and it's Kendrick Lamar. Go ahead,
Kendrick
Johan.
Lamar.
Go
Fuck it.
ahead,
Let's
Johan.
get Drake.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
I
Stop
think
it.
if
Stop
he
it. We
was,
said serious answers. Kendrick Lamar. Serious answers.
I
not
think
Drake.
the best boxing opponent for Jake Paul, and unfortunately he was taken from us a little bit before his time. It would have been Stephen Hawking, bro. It would have been
straight
Stephen
up.
Hawking.
All right,
Straight up.
Johan.
Straight up.
No.
What is the actual
Here we go.
game?
No. If he's trying to give back to the sport of boxing, I have the least amount of followers. I'll fight him. He can give back to me.
Amen.
He would have donated to so much. I'll fight him. And who gives a fuck?
Give him John Radford. John Radford would clock his shit so quick.
I'll take the professor in fucking 3 rounds.
Oh God, no.
I have a real answer if anybody wants.
I want
Sure.
Jake Paul and Helen Keller.
What?
I have a real answer for you, John.
Wait, hold on. Before you give a real answer, anybody
All right,
else got any stupid answers? Because these are fun.
I thought these were real. I apologize about the late.
I think
the late
it's
night
I think
conversation.
it's either Joe Biden or Kamala Harris in the
Actually,
ring.
why not Donald Trump? He just took an assassination attempt and fucking stood
That's
on the
true.
fist. He's the
He
toughest
just got
motherfucker alive.
he just got Mike Tyson and nobody even said it.
Oh,
He just got Mike Tyson. He's ready to go. He's got the fists.
He can fight Mike Tyson now because he has no ear to bite off.
Exactly. He's missing cartilage.
Oh, John!
Oh my gosh.
oh my God, that one made me have to wipe my eyes.
John is ruthless. John, you wait. Drop the mic, John. Drop it and leave. Just go.
Drop the snowball.
You know, Dave Van Auken ain't watching anymore.
John's out of here. He's gone. John, that was
just
epic.
dropped
This
John,
episode's getting taken.
Hey, I don't. Who gives a
This
fuck?
episode's getting taken
that
off.
Was epic. That was
all right,
was
so
funny.
I'm gonna reel this thing back in. Johan, give us the real boxer now.
There you go.
All right. So
What was the question?
So-
I forgot my question.
A legitimate
if-
next step for the question that you gave was a legitimate next step for Jake Paul.
right.
Thank you.
So if we're gonna do that, right? If he's trying to be a world champion, right? He's gonna obviously do it in a business aspect. So the easiest sanctioning body to get a world title shot in is the WBC because they favor the A side the most. That being said, it's gonna be hard to fight anybody in the WBC in the top 15 because technically they're all gonna be kind of outmatching him. So honestly, the most realistic is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. because he's a legitimate boxer, but even that would be a stretch of a test for him because
What he did tonight, right?
exactly what he did tonight, you wouldn't have known that his dad is the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. You wouldn't have even known that he's a former world champion. You know what I mean? But that's like the most practical thing. But in order to, I think personally, if he's going to try to be a world champion, he's going to have to fight like a continental guy, a continental title, or like a silver champion, someone that's like bang average, so that way he could, actually have some pedigree and fight a guy that's not like in the upper echelon or a true contender, but someone that can really put his skills to the test. So in conclusion, he should fight Stevie Wonder.
Nah, my dog.
You son of a bitch. I'm sitting here right now. I'm hanging on every word coming out of Johan's mouth. He's giving me all
Because
this
he was
fucking
spitting facts. He was spitting straight
fire. And then he hits me in the fucking face with the fucking 1-2 and fucking knocks me out with the fucking clean combo with Stevie fucking Wonder.
Well, where's that juice at? I seen that juice in the background. Where's that juice
Everybody,
at?
do me a favor. Everybody, do me a favor.
It's
Put your hands together for Johan. That was epic.
Johan, I will have to say, if we're talking about real game, if we're talking about the blood sport of the game, he needs to fight a guy that is unmatched. Has gone his belt, his title. He has fought the lengths of the world. And this is a guy that I really do believe that would be a great matchup for Jake Paul. Would be Claude Van Zandt.
John Claude Van Damme?
Yeah, John Claude Van Damme.
JCVD.
Is he gonna scream the entire
But
time?
they have to put their knuckles in the glass with the honey. They have to do it.
And the gummy bears. Don't forget
And the
the
gummy bears and the Skittles, just like Hot Shots Part 2.
Hey, he gets it. He gets it. He gets it. But all I know,
Am I the
all
only
know,
one who gets the reference? Am I alone there? I'm sorry.
No, I'm on it. I'm on it. But I'm just saying, show enough is gonna be around, and I'm gonna get the glow, and it's just gonna be over. So we're just gonna call it that way.
But I think on that note,
I just want to put that up there.
yeah, no, that is and I saw somebody in the comments saying that the other guy that's co-owning BKFC is going to bed crying because his biggest draw is now gone. If that's really what it is, and that could be two
It's not
things.
the
To answer
same
Chris's
thing.
question from way earlier in the show, how can this or what happens to BKFC, because of this? This could be a work by Connor to get more eyes back on BKFC. Right, this could be something that he's doing to really get some more eyes on there. Now, whether Mike Perry is gone or not, that's really the question that we
He's
have.
not gone.
And I don't think he is either. Because he brings too much eyes, and he is really that. He has built the legacy of bare knuckle through himself. Like, he is the guy that stays in the sport, because a lot of guys go in that sport and they fight one or two times. And Chris, you know this, because you've been to, I think, Game Bread as well.
Yep.
After they fight that first time, they're like, I don't want to do this again. But you have somebody like Mike Perry who's willing to go out there, eat punches, and still just withstand all that stuff. And there's not people that's normal enough to do that all the time, So you have to be geared a different type of way. And Mike is geared for that perfectly, not like a lot of people are.
I don't think he's going anywhere from BKFC. And their host, Cyrus Fees, he's a good friend of mine. He officiated my wedding. He commented on my post about the loss, and he said he lost he feels Mike lost no momentum. He looked like an animal, outweighed by a bunch, and still a beast, and represented BKFC well. Now, Cyrus isn't the boss, but I probably feel that's how Feldman and the rest of the gang over there feel. Mike was in there against a guy that boxes, and Mike doesn't box, and he showed it. He trains boxing, but I just think because he's so used to the BKFC's rule set at this point, that it was just difficult to him to transition. Now, I don't know if you guys talked about this before I got here, but last night they announced Dirty Boxing Championship, Mike Perry's new promotion. I went live last night for about an hour. Let's get thoughts on that, and let's start with Jonathan.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting because you're able to ground and pound while standing.
Yeah, the continuation to the ground is fucking epic.
Yeah, which is super awesome. And then there is no kicks, right? So
no kicks, no submissions, no grappling.
Right. But there is elbows
and open palm slaps.
Yeah, so you're pretty much using your full arm.
I like how John Radford is down there acting out the strikes. Watch this, Jonathan. Watch this. Hand strike, palm strike.
We got all
elbow
of it.
there.
We got all of it. We got all of it.
We lost Jonathan.
I'm scared here. My camera.
He's just replicating what Nick Diaz does in the ring all the time.
No, that's what happens when I get elbowed by John Radford. I just go and I
go. Shit.
So that's what happened. He just elbowed me in the face through the camera, knocked my camera out.
I apologize. I didn't realize. I apologize. I thought I was Neo, but I didn't know.
And for you guys that are just hearing about this Dirty Boxing Championship real quick, it's a hybrid form of boxing and I guess a little Muay Thai in there. So 5-ounce gloves, 3 3-minute round fights for regular fights, 3 5-minute round, 3 5-minute round, or 5 3-minute rounds for championship fights, 18-foot ring. Like we said, continuation to the ground. Yeah, Johan went 18-foot ring. There will be women. Mike talked about Alex Nicholson coming to do it. He even said a guy like Ryan Garcia would benefit well in this, this new hybrid form of combat sports. I interrupted Jonathan. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I appreciate you bringing all the knowledge about it because, it just kind of.
I asked them for a job too. I'm hoping they hire me.
Well, hold on, Chris, I do have a question. How many guys from Power Slap would integrate into that form very easily?
None of them. The only one from Power Slap that could go over and do this would be Paige Van Zandt.
Well, I think we would all appreciate her everywhere she went. So
I'm not that impressed. I mean, if you're talking about how she looks,
why do they stand there to get hit? I don't get it.
It makes no sense to me.
It kills me that fucking shit is sanctioned in Nevada, but we can't get bare knuckle sanctioned in Nevada.
According
it's crazy
to
that there's a weigh-in for that.
It's
crazy that there's a weigh-in
to Dana White. According to Dana White, it is the most viewed sport in the world.
Go look up the numbers, dude. He's not fucking far off base, dude. That fucking shit gets so many fucking views, and I don't know fucking why, but it does.
It's the Russians. It's the Russians.
You know what it is? It's because anybody could fucking go in there and do it. You don't have to be in shape. You just have to have a strong slap.
If I lived in Russia, I would be that bored as well. I'd be like, what? Tuesday? Power slaps on? Sounds good.
But overall, about dirty boxing, his league that he got going on, I love the addition of it, because we saw with Karate Combat just kind of like an extra revival. You're starting to see more, diversity through different combat sports here in the United States. And if this is maybe the start of getting more Muay Thai in the United States, sign me up, because I want to see more sanctioned Muay Thai here in the United States.
And you mentioned Karate Combat. Karate Combat's founder, co-founder Adam Kovacs is part of Mike Perry's team. He was also the president of Karate Combat before President Awesome took over. So this guy knows about upstarting a promotion and getting things rolling. It was a great addition to the team. I had no idea, because Mike been talking about this for over a year, doing a promotion. It was going to call it Platinum Pit Fights, and then that changed, and then this is what they came up with. They have a website, by the way, you guys can go check out, dirtyboxing.tv. It just gives you a basic rundown of what to expect, and you can get on their mailing list if you want to do that.
Awesome. Yeah. So, but I think just more diversity in combat sports is a beautiful thing, and like I said, if we're going to be able to see some more addition of Muay Thai there, sign me up. But Johan, I'll kick it to you now. What's your thoughts on this?
I think it's an interesting concept. I mean, any time that you're bringing in more combat sports, especially different martial arts backgrounds, I think it's good for the not only for combat sports, but like just the dirty boxing in general. The rule set kind of reminds me a lot of like Let Way, except for without the headbutts, because of all the standing elbows and stuff. So I'm excited to see that, because I'm a big fan of Let Way, and I like how brutal it is. So I kind of
wish we had that here.
I know it's only in like Myanmar and stuff, but I think
anyone who wants to headbutt people y'all are sick. I'm just gonna let y'all know that y'all.
Listen, man.
I don't want to headbutt. I don't want to headbutt anybody. I just want to watch other people do it.
I respect the shit out of it. Y'all some bad motherfuckers, but that's y'all. Come on, that's crazy.
We're not trying to kill
rule set. This rule set is one headbutt away from that. I'll tell you what. That rule set is one headbutt.
I feel you, but it's like I respect it. It's hardcore as hell, and I can't do it. But goddamn, why y'all want?
Now here's the question. Now I don't know if they have the whole rule set up, but I see that they say standing elbows.
Hey, Johan, let me cut you off real quick. I just got a message from Blake. His phone's about to die, so he wants to scoot. So let him jump his piece in before his phone dies.
Gotcha.
All I want to say is it's been a goddamn pleasure to be on the same panel with these amazing voices. I shouldn't even be here. I don't deserve to be here. So the fact that I'm here, with John Bradford and Chris and Johan, and the fact that I'm here with the most beautiful man in all of sports commentating, Jean Ramalakan, right here. We're out. We're done.
Good night, Blake.
Later, bro.
Pretty sure we just saw his ass before he left, but that's not here nor there. But yeah, no, Johan, I think to your point, those standing elbows, that's going to be interesting, because especially, instead of, you have to worry about, just getting that uppercut in. Sometimes that's what you just worry about in the boxing ring, is that uppercut coming from under. You can grab that head and just slide that elbow in, and you're not even really just driving momentum, but you'll get a lot of slicing elbows. And I'm excited to see some more violence on that aspect.
I'm wondering if 12-6s are allowed, like how they can go up like that. That's what I'm wondering, if they're going to be able to go up like that.
Well, I think they're going to have to follow the combat sport rule that's in effect right now. That's a 12-6 elbows are illegal. However, the ABC is meeting on that, spearheaded by the state of California, to change that rule about the 12-6 elbow because it should be legal.
Right.
Are you gonna be able to slide? Are you able to slide and hit with the inside elbow?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's gonna be nasty.
This is gonna be brutal.
That's some senchai shit right there. That's some senchai shit.
This is gonna be so brutal.
We're gonna see some nice violence. I think we're gonna see some really nice highlights come out of it.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I think we're gonna see some really violent highlights come out of it, and I'm super excited just to see the future of it. You know, just overall, I think, like you said, I didn't actually even know the guy that helped started Karate Combat and the former president is helping with this as well. Because when it comes to starting a business, what is it? The statistics like 80% fail over the first 5 years. You know, and especially with combat sports leagues, I mean, you've seen a lot. You know, especially since COVID. You know,
I mean,
opened up with the TikTok boxing and everything. So many has come out, and
like look back at Affliction. You know, how much money do those motherfuckers have? And they went and fucking shit the bed. Strikeforce got absorbed. Fucking Bellator is now PFLator. I mean, it's a mess.
WEC got
Pride.
Karate Combat is. I hope they keep going at the like kind of the trajectory that they're trying to stay at with like, don't over adapt the rules to make it too ridiculous to where like all of a sudden you're adding in more martial arts than karate, but keep it kind of pure that way to where it looks kind of like an 80s like kumite, like, and I think like you will thrive with that pure striking basis behind it because you'll be able to get a lot of different striking martial arts into it, and it won't just be just like a karate like type style, but you can use that name behind it. You know what I mean?
I'm waiting for Daniel LaRusso to walk out.
Right, like you know what I mean? But like I love Karate Combat. I think it's awesome. I just hope they keep like keep tuning it towards striking, not towards like adapting more martial arts into a karate style. You know what I mean? You know, like the name of it.
Hey, Dave, if you're still watching, next time there's a Karate Combat in Orlando, we all need passes, bro. You got the hook up, holler.
We want to see that shit.
I want to see that. I want to be sitting there where he sat the last one on the pit, right there, and just fucking watching this shit. Fucking, I think it's going to be a good time.
I think, right?
I want him to make a Masters.
Knockout. That's what it was. It was a switch kick knockout. The main event.
Fucking James Vick got knocked the fuck out.
I mean, it's every fight James Vick gets knocked the fuck out. But, you know,
wow,
I mean,
wow.
My favorite James Vick knockout is the one that Nico Price put on with an up kick.
Yeah, the up kick that smashed his jaw from the bottom. That was one of the most. That was when that was only like one of the early fights that I started watching when I really just started getting more into MMA. You know, so that one.
So you're still kind of a newbie.
Yeah, I started when like really started getting into it more was when like Ngannou versus Overeem. Like I watched that at Buffalo's.
What?
And from there, I was
really?
like,
you're that far behind? Holy shit!
But
I had no idea.
During COVID, I started from UFC 1 and kind of got up to like.
Oh, there you go.
Something. So
at least you started at the beginning. At least you started at the beginning.
There's a comment down here. Some weird language.
Mark Coleman's and all those guys.
Can anybody else see this comment from Anthony Lopez? I can't. I'm not going to put it on the screen because none of us can read it.
I think Johan. I'm not sure. Can you speak Spanish or understand?
Can you see the comment, or do I need to put it on the screen for you, Johan?
Yeah, block it.
Huh?
He said block
that shit.
Oh, I see
he's talking shit.
So that means something about ass.
Haha. Anthony Lopez, we got a translator.
Oh shit.
We're gonna need him at Island Fights in case we have anybody that needs that, just in case. So.
Oh my god.
Oh,
plugging you in, Johan. I'm plugging you in, but. Hey, I mean, I think we're right here. This is a good closing point. I think we've got a lot of really good topics. Any other final thoughts that you guys want to cover before we close out here tonight, guys?
Hey, thanks for.
I'm going to run this banner on the bottom of the screen, so we should talk for at least 2 minutes because this kind of drops some information in there. Island Fights, August 9th, Pensacola Bay Center. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Subscribe to the Fight Bananas YouTube page. I put all kinds of stuff in this. I run it every time I run a show. It's fucking Tuesdays at 1 p.m. It's Dave Van Auken, L, and Maddie. Wednesdays, come on, scroll faster. Wednesday, we got Betting Bananas on Wednesday with Dave and L. I put Boxing Bananas on here on Thursdays, I think.
That works. Most of the time we're on Thursdays.
I could change the day though, so I try to promote. I try to promote everybody's show. Jonathan, I don't even know your official show and when you do it.
Usually it's just UFC post-fight shows on Saturdays or whatever fights they have on Saturdays. We just do me and Blake. It's usually plus everybody else we try to get. So
okay, I'll add that to my crawl if I can. If I have to make another crawl, I will because I only have up to 1,000 words on here. Sunday morning with Elle and Maddie. Elle's getting a lot of airtime. Make sure to check out hkausa.com. Use promo code bananas20 for 20% off all gear. If you don't believe me that it's good gear, John Radford will tell you it's great gear. You got some baby blue boxing gloves, I know. July 28th, I'm going to be hosting a BJJ tournament by Mad Assassin in Riverview, Florida, 6 p.m., 32-man absolute ADCC rule set, $10,000 first prize. Tickets at madassassin.com. Also, the next week, we're going to have a UFC 304 watch along. I don't know who's going to be on that. This Wednesday, we're going to have a Island Fights 84 preview show. Pearl Gonzalez will be on that show. Dave Van Auken, L. I think I'm going to pop in for a minute. We're going to have probably Dean Toole and Devin Adams, our matchmaker. Probably Dylan Kleckler, who's fighting on the card. We were supposed to get Alex Nicholson on the card, but Michigan fucked him over. Fucking bastards.
I saw that. That's terrible.
Yeah, fucking.
It's legal here, so I don't know why that's like, that's terrible.
Yeah, fucking for weed. Weed is legal in Michigan.
Really?
But I guess it's not approved by the boxing commission yet. I mean, Florida just fucking stopped fucking with people for it.
But yeah, I'm super excited for that Island Fights because I know it's going to be the first.
Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I am going to be there.
Fucking
awesome.
awesome.
I already requested off for work, so I'm good for that.
What do you do for work?
I'm sorry?
What do you do for work?
I work from home. I work for Full Sail University, so I do the admissions interviews for the students.
Oh, cool, man. That's a pretty cool gig.
It's nice. It's chilling. Work from home. And
do they pay you well?
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Definitely solid.
Can you get me a job? I need a remote at home job because fucking driving Uber is killing me.
For sure. Yeah, man. I can get you plugged in for that.
Get me plugged in. I need to make like $50K a year minimum.
You're not gonna make that just starting off just yet, but it's like it's like there's like 20 an hour to start off and then 30.
Fucking hater.
Overtime,
no,
so not terrible.
No, $20 an hour. Fucking, can they do that off the books?
Yeah, off the books would be nice. That's what I do.
He's doing a whole Indeed interview all over
live.
Right now.
A buddy of mine posted the other day that he's been working at the post office for like 35 years, and I commented on there. I said, "That's fucking awesome! Congratulations! Can you get me a job as a driver? I don't want to have to wait in line to become a driver. I want to become a delivery truck driver, and I need to make $60,000 a year. Let me know." I could do the mailman. I could do the mailman job. Drive the car with the wheel on the wrong side. Fucking have a good time. Johan, what do you do?
I work at a news station.
Do you?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I'm a producer.
Oh, fucking A. That's awesome. Segment producer?
No, a whole show.
Oh, what show?
Morning shows.
Morning
CBS.
show? Where?
CBS.
CBS. Like the full network or local CBS?
Local.
Where's your local CBS?
At Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. Well, fucking A, dude. That's an awesome fucking gig. I had no idea.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
That's fucking cool. Can you get me a job on your show?
We'll see what we can do.
I'll come in and do fucking MMA talk and sports talk, and I'll fucking do it all fucking crazy and fun.
Chris, you're acting like the town bicycle right now. Everybody's getting a ride. Come on, man.
Everybody's getting a ride, dude. Hey, listen. Wherever I can make the money, I got to go, dude. Fucking Radford, what do you do?
I was a school teacher and I train fighters. So
I know you train fighters. Are you still a school teacher?
No. I'm actually starting my own personal training business here this summer. So
that's awesome.
That's what I'm switching careers. But I was a teacher. I was a math and science teacher for about 10 years.
Holy shit! I had no idea.
Yeah,
crazy.
I have a physics degree with a minor in mathematics.
Yeah, I my whole adult life I was a strip club DJ. That's what I did.
Fuck yeah.
It was a lot of fun, good scenery.
It's the same. It's the same difference as my degree. I promise you, it's the same shit. I promise you. It's all physics. It's all
Oh,
physics.
it's fucking crazy.
And
Well,
this
I
is an
just wanted to
inside
get some,
look with everybody here at Fight Bananas,
right.
guys.
Give
This
everybody.
is
But
Fight
now I'm an
Bananas
Uber driver.
after
Now I'm
dark.
a fucking Uber driver.
So we appreciate everyone being on here. If you guys aren't already, first off, I think it's 500 or 600K that we hit on the Fight Bananas here.
450K on the Facebook Fight Bananas Facebook. So thank you guys for support. We appreciate that.
Definitely. And if you're not part of the family already, make sure you guys hop on because the ride that we are going on as a group is insane. You know, we have a great squad here, a bunch of different shows, and everybody has their own flavor. And it's just so awesome. You have guys like, Dave, Maddie L, of course, John and Chris James. We just had a couple other names join us as well. So just be on the
James
lookout for
Lynch.
everything.
James
James
Lynch
Lynch.
is fucking
Yes,
an
that's the
incredible
person I was
journalist.
talking about who just joined as well. So always got good people coming in, and if you're not already on the ride with us, hop on the rocket ship, or else you guys gonna miss out, baby.
Yeah, and by the way, I got a show coming up Monday. I'm doing two shows. Monday afternoon at 4:30, I'm speaking with PFL star Tyler Diamond. Monday night, I've got Jimmy Rivera from BKFC, former UFC fighter. I've got the Fighting Roast brothers, Charles, who used to fight in the UFC, and his brother Lucas, who's working his way to the UFC. They both fight at CES up in the New England area, and Lucas is a champion, so we're going to have the brothers on at the same time. And then for you guys out there, this is for you guys that are watching right here on the screen. If you're interested, the following Monday, July 29th, I'm going to have an attorney on my show. His name is Eric McGracken. He works in Canada. He is versed on fighter safety when it comes to head trauma and concussions. But we're bringing him on because he's the most versed guy to talk about the UFC lawsuit that's going on with the $335 million settlement. I've been following this guy for a long time, and I like to sometimes bring on people that give us information that we don't quite understand. We could talk to fighters all day, but sometimes it's cool to talk to somebody outside of being a fighter or a coach or a manager or a trainer to get some insight on stuff that legally we probably all could use an education. And so that's going to be the following Monday at 5:30 in the afternoon. So, and I'll share it with you guys, and I would love you guys to jump in and watch the show. And if any of you want to come on and ask some questions, I'll bring you right in because that's an important show. I don't think I'm going to have any other guests that day because I want to give him plenty of time to break down the lawsuit because a lot of it's very confusing. So that's what's coming up with me. What do you got coming up on Boxing Bananas, John?
We'll do a show.
I'm just keeping this thing going. I'm so sorry.
No. We'll do a show on Tuesday, wrap it up this week, and all the stuff coming up because there's another stretch of boxing matches that are going to come up. I'm sure Johan's going to jump on with us at some point. We love having you on, brother. You're one of the great minds we have in the boxing community with us. So that's
super
us.
smart.
Then, yep, absolutely. And then so keep checking us out, and then that's what we got going on.
And then for next Saturday, you already know, post-fight show, we got it locked in right here. We might got some of these beautiful faces. We might got some extra ones. You already know we're going to get you right after as well.
Well, if I don't jump in for the live show with Dave and those guys, and you need somebody to chat with, Jonathan, just hit me up, and I'll be more than happy to jump in with you and do a post-fight show. That fucking night we did UFC 300, that was fucking so epic.
That was awesome.
That was a great fucking night.
Watching the reaction to Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje, watching you guys react to that was probably one of the craziest things. I hopped on right after just because I had to see what was going on and how you guys, the aftermath, I couldn't comprehend just enjoying that by myself.
I got to ask this, and then we could end on this question. Then Jonathan, you can close the show. But now that we've had time to really digest that knockout, is that the greatest fucking knockout we've ever seen in MMA?
I think so. It's hard. I think situationally, if you understand the situation of what's happening, yes, because it's okay, the last minute of the last fight in a BMF title fight, you're saying go down, you're pointing to the ground, not with just anybody, with Justin Gaethje, who has one of the most pronounced knockout streaks or knockout talent, when it comes to UFC hands in that division. He did that last second to a guy with that, power in that moment. I think all of that makes it the best knockout. Now, as far as flashiness, maybe head kick style or what we saw with the switch kick, that was insane as well, right? But as far as just everything with the implications, I do consider that one of the best.
I think it's in my top 3. I would say, like, with the moment, the heat of the moment, it's probably the greatest moment in MMA history. I think that whole moment, him pointing to the ground and then them banging it out and then him knocking him out with 1 second left. I think you can't name it any better. But greatest knockout, it's definitely up in the conversation. But there's 2 other ones that are in there. One is Masvidal flying knee against Ben Askren. I mean, him walking to the side of the cage and then running at him as Ben tries to go for a double leg. I cannot, discredit that. And then the other one is Edson Barbosa spin kicking Terry Edom, freezing him up like a robot. Like I have to. You cannot. That right there is probably number 1 for me. Like that one right there. Wow. I don't think anyone has seen anyone react like that. Like Terry Edom, literally all his nerves like just froze up. I've never seen that with any other knockout. So like it's definitely in the top 3.
That's awesome. Those are good picks there, dude. The Terry Edom one, I didn't fucking expect. You pulled that right out of your butt, dude. That was fucking epic. Radford?
Oh no, like that one is, yes, it is. It is up there. There's top 3 knockouts for me. Is that one? Is one of them.
Okay.
I think the front kick from Anderson Silva to Vitor Belfort, he just crumbled him and it was a front kick. I'm sorry. And then the next one, I think, honestly, the Conor McGregor to Jose Aldo, because we missed out on such an epic fight because of that one punch.
Right. And they both ended at the same time. Conor just had more.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm a spin kick lover, and a spin kick is my favorite. And that Terry Edom knockout is cold. It's straight gangster as fuck. It's cold. But we missed out, like the epicness of a Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor 3-round fight. We missed out on
5-round fight,
or whatever, however you want to call it. We missed out on that because of
14 seconds.
Yeah, like that's cold.
So the Holloway and Gaethje fucking moment, and I guess these would be the top 3, and I'm not really gonna put them in any order, but Holloway, Gaethje, Nico Price fucking knocking out Randy Brown fucking with hammer fist from the bottom, fucking, and taking Randy Brown out. That was fucking epic. Fuck, you don't see that shit. And Joaquin Buckley knocking out Impa Kasanganay when fucking Impa caught the kick and fucking kicked him in the face. I mean, those are the 3 that stand out in my head. And I love Impa Kasanganay. Fucking, he fought for us at Highland Fights. I hated to see him be
Impa's the shit. Impa's the shit.
I hated to see him be the beast. I hated to see him be that guy on the other end of a knockout like that. But man, that knockout was that was pretty.
And I mean, one of them, I mean, just since we're giving top 3s, the one that got me into the sport really, like I said, was Ngannou versus Overeem. So that was one of the ones as well. And but just as far as other,
that was a starching right there, dude. That was fucking so disgusting.
Absolute murder. Masvidal, that one actually, made me one of the bigger fans of the sport too, because before that he did like the interview with Joe Rogan. And really we got to learn who Masvidal was, and, learning that he was from Miami, and, everything with that with South Florida sports, just kind of made me a bigger fan with him. So all that leading up to him hitting that flying knee, that's definitely up there with me for me as well.
Oh yeah, one more thing. I almost forgot to announce as we're talking about fight stuff. Gamebred's coming up again. I believe it's going to be in September. They announced the fight already. Brandon Michael Davis versus Randy Costa, the rematch from the UFC for the Bantamweight Championship at Gamebred Bare Knuckle MMA.
That's a good one.
Do we have a location for that yet or not yet?
Do not. No location, no date.
Well, we got some news for you coming next time, maybe, right? Keep it locked in right here. Chris, you want to close us out, man? You any final thoughts?
I can if you want me to. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Fight Bananas here with Jonathan, myself, the professor, and Johan, the split decision. We had a great time chatting with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. We are here, like I said, pretty much 7 days a week now. It seems like, we're going to be doing a show every day, especially with the addition of James Lynch, who's going to pop in on different days at different times. So we're going to have a lot more content for you. Thank you for getting us to 450,000 followers. Keep us going on Facebook. Keep us going on YouTube. We didn't get any YouTube comments tonight. Not happy with you guys. YouTubers, comment on our show so we can be as famous as Jake Paul. But that's it from all of us here at Fight Bananas. I am Christopher James, and we are out of here, guys. Good night.